What's happening, everybody? It's me, your resident supervillain, Mr. J. Washington. I am here with you guys for my official review to the first Purge. Yep, the first Purge. Now, before I go any further into this review, I need to let you know that there will be spoilers, okay? I just have to have them in this, okay? I can't do a spoiler-free review of the Purge. You know, you gotta know some of the things that happen. You need to know some of the things that set this up. Some of the cast members and things of the sort. So, there will be spoilers. And if you want to go see this movie on your own and then come back, by all means, please do so. But just know there will be spoilers. Now, let's get into this. This movie is so meta, being the fact it is extremely self-aware of what it is, where it is, when it is in time. And the problem with that is, we've had 3 previous films. We've had The Purge Anarchy, and The Purge Election Year. The Purge Election Year was the most recent one, which was basically predicated on the 2016 United States presidential election. Right? Right. But the first Purge is a prequel. It is where everything started. But however, everything it references is stuff that's going on today, which is basically forward from the last Purge film we saw. Do you get what I'm saying? The time is like, what in the hell are y'all doing? But I get what you're trying to do. We basically see the new founding fathers of America get installed as presidents, because the new founding fathers were this special third party, basically people absolving from Democrats and Republicans, things we're talking about happening now in actual current society, and they applied in this. They talk about the economic bust. They talk about the housing crash, the unemployment increase throughout an exponential number, and people being down on their last and just forcing to scratch and survive. Good times! I felt like every time you say scratch and survive, you have to say that. But it talks about that. We go into that. It also shows how the residents, well, let me say this. The new founding fathers decide that they need to have an experiment to help Americans cleanse themselves of their frustrations, their anger, their rage that builds up and festers within inside of them. They want a way for them to release it and also help to minimize the economic stress, meaning help lower the population. Now, they also incentivize these people. It all is based on Staten Island in New York, which, as we know, Staten Island is one of the main boroughs. It also has a lot of low, impoverished neighborhoods and individuals that live in that neighborhood. Black and brown, let's just call it for what it is. But the incentive they give them is that if you do not leave the island, if you stay on Staten Island for the night of the Purge, you will be granted $5,000, okay? Just to stay in the night, and if you can survive. But if you decide to participate in the Purge, you will get extra incentives, depending on what you enact in. So should you loot, you'll get more. Should you rob, you get more. Should you rape, potentially, but if you murder. So there's all these different levels of people to make money. And when you have an impoverished amount of people, when you put those incentives in amounts of dollars and cents in front of them, it tends to inspire them to do things, which we thought was going to happen immediately, but it doesn't in this film. This film actually, it shows that some people want to buy into it, but many as a whole want to stay away from it because they feel like it's immoral, it is wrong, which pretty much the idea of a purge is, but damn it, I wouldn't be surprised if we have one in this country pretty soon, okay? There's so much about what this film does. We have a line in this film where Lex Scott Davis, who is playing Naya, she's one of the main girls in the movie. Shouts out to Lex. I remember her from Training Day, working with my homeboy Justin Cornwell. Shouts out to the whole Training Day crew. Rest in peace, Bill Paxton. Lex plays the main girl, and she has an incident where she's trying to get to her brother, and she is trapped up over a grate. She is almost being snatched, and while the dude is trying to snatch her out the sewer, he places his hands on his inner thighs, of course, and then his hands go right in the middle by her crotch. And after she finally breaks free and sprays him a mace, she says, "You pussy grabbing motherfucker." I said, wow, we are really going to do this. We are really going to make sure basically everything you have gone through in America the past 18 months, you will experience in this film directly, okay? There is another part which almost got myself and a few other individuals in this screening a little bit concerned and a little bit bewildered, because there is a part, again, I told you there will be spoilers, there is a part where there is a black man on a baseball field being beaten down and chased by police officers with America the Beautiful playing in the background. There are so many things we're talking about, the racial divide, the economical divide. It gets to the point where you find out, and we've seen in the trailers, we've seen in the previous Purge, in the previous Purges, I don't even know how it works anymore, but we've seen in other films that the government is involved in this, because the government feels that not enough people are engaging in the purge, are not killing in the purge more so than anything else. They're not killing off people. It doesn't matter how much you loot, rob, pillage, plunder, and rape like you are a fucking Viking, as long as you're killing people. The government, in this case, the new founding fathers, is very much a metaphor on the current administration of the United States. I would not steer you wrong just for the purpose of telling you this for a review. The new founding fathers bring in mercenaries from various entities around the world, not the country, the world. More specifically, we get Blackgate mercenaries. We even have, yes, ladies and gentlemen, Russian mercenaries, okay? Dolores is played by Mugga. You know her from Orange is the New Black as well as other shows. She was in Power. She is the bomb in this movie. She is a comedic force where every time she drives a line in that is a comedic force, it hits so hard, and the crowd couldn't help but to laugh because you needed that sense of brevity with all the heaviness of the purge and the action involving the purge that you are experienced to for this entire film. Yalan Noel plays the main character. He plays Dimitri in the purge, okay? You know him from Insecure. He was Daniel in Insecure. Brother's been around for a minute. Shouts out to the homeboy. I don't know when it went from being a gangbanger helping to save his community in a sense to this man having an audition for Black Panther 2. There are so much martial arts and so many things. He has a special force level of training that he enacts that you were like, were you in the military? Because his homeboy, one of his buddies tells you, yeah, he was in the military. So he knows about the mercs that come in. He knows about all these other things. But dude is doing things with a sword, flipping, kicking, twisting, breaking necks. I was like, this ain't a Marvel movie. The action scenes in this, for all its faults, it has a lot of positives. The action scenes in this movie are some of the best action scenes I have ever seen throughout any of the Purge films, and I speak for myself as well as many others who were in the screen. We like the action and the way the action scenes are choreographed. They're very well done. They are shot very well, and this is in contrast to the other Purge movies in which we have seen over the years. Now, it did not help and did help at the same time. When you look at the credits, you see that Michael Bay is a producer in this film. So that was like, oh, that's why all them damn explosions were there. That's a Michael Bay product. I can see that. What it did is it definitely laid down the groundwork for what the future Purge films would be. I can't remember the name of the group that Michael K. Williams was a part of in Purge Anarchy, and as well as the third one. But it sets the groundwork and the foundation for that going forward. But again, the problem is this film sets itself in current day society, not previous to the other films, if that makes sense to anybody. It is a great movie. It has its flaws. There's sometimes the dialogue gets so cheesy and things happen. You're like, somebody wrote this and just was gonna go with it the way it is, but that's what's going to happen pretty much in every film. Shouts out to the director, Gerald McMurray. Now, myself and my homeboy, Durian, we were like, yo, is the director black? Because if not, I need to have a lot of questions about a lot of the choices they made. Again, the racial symbolism. There is a part where a group of Klansmen, white supremacists, go and shoot up an African-American church, reminiscent of Dylan Roof in Charleston. Things we have seen, experienced, and heard. It is all put on a plate before you in this film. I am not complaining about it because I know, look, it pulls no punches. It doesn't apologize for what it is. It lets you know, I'm going to tell you how the government is and what the government may do. Now, the only thing this movie was missing was a Handmaid's Tale reference. And I would have been like, yep, this is completely where we're at in 2018. Again, I know it may sound like I'm coming off criticizing, but I'm really not. I'm just saying this movie hit so many points home that I had to laugh because I was like, I can't believe they're just going for it. But also my criticism, like I said, I do have a few. My main one being, what day and age are you in? But nonetheless, that is my opinion on the film. Would I go see it again? Yes. Before I leave, let me tell you, the soundtrack to this movie is so damn dope. I've not wanted to buy a soundtrack to a movie in a very, very long time. But there are a lot of hip-hop songs I've rocked with in the car, played on Pandora, heard out in the streets. It ends with Kendrick Lamar's We Gonna Be Alright. And I was like, no the hell y'all not. The Purge happening every year after this, according to the movie. I mean, we've seen what's in the, in the future per se. but the soundtrack is amazing. I don't know what more else I can say. I would advise you, though, to check this movie out. If you've seen the other 3 Purge films, you will want to see this one. If Purge election year kind of soured you, as it did many people, because I know a lot of people who were like, all right, I gave the first Purge a chance, got into Anarchy, I wasn't really sure. Purge election year, I was like, oh dear God, what are we doing? Go see this one, though. Go see this one. Judge it for yourself, but pay attention to all of the references that are thrown out at you left and right. I guarantee you won't miss them because they'll be right in front of your face, okay? So let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, subscribe, click on that notification bell. Are you planning on going to see the first Purge? Have you given up on the Purge films? Would this be your first experience watching one of these movies? Also, do you believe this could potentially happen? Remember, somebody had to think about this as a concept for a film in order for it to be made the very first time around, all right? Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Mr. J Washington. That's MrJaywashington. Please go support my Patreon, okay? I am needing to build my Patreon up because I want to give some more content out exclusively to you guys. Now, I want to do things like this little talk show I'm doing. I have various interviews with a lot of different celebrities from a lot of different avenues: TV, film, radio, music, and more. And I want to give that to you guys, but it's only going to be available on Patreon. And guess what? $5. No crazy ass tiers. $5. Support it on Patreon. Check that out, okay? I will holler at you guys later, man. Have a happy Independence Day, a safe one. And you know what? Don't enact your own purge, because that's ridiculous. And also, stop with the damn fireworks so much, because now people like myself from the hood got to play this game called Gunshot Firework. Don't know which one. And then I get to crying on the floor for no apparent damn reason when you just shooting Roman candles. I will holler at you guys later. Take care. I'm out of here. Peace.